Naylor, your FrugalTech. You know, keeping ahead of the bad guys is a tough job. You know, it's like a game of whack-a-mole. I came across an article written by Liam Tung of CNET entitled "Kaspersky is impressed by botnet slickness." What he's referring to is the Conficker worm. And Eugene Kaspersky, if you're not familiar with him, is the founder of Kaspersky Labs. They make a great antivirus product. He has got a degree in cryptography, computer science. This guy is really very knowledgeable about viruses and that sort of thing. And for somebody of his caliber to say, look, I'm impressed with the work that the bad guys did in creating this thing, really speaks volume of how we've got some serious problems in the security field coming right now, and particularly some of the things that's unfortunately maybe in store for us down the future. So I wanted to cover a couple of these things in this article, and it starts out by saying that cybercrime fighter Eugene Kaspersky can't help but be impressed by the slick operation behind the Conficker botnet. And he says it could be worse if the botnet had been written if they decided to go after more than just money. What he's saying is that these folks are high-end engineers, and they write the code in a very good way. They use cryptographic systems in the right way, and they don't make mistakes. These guys are very professional. He's about 60% certain that this thing is the Conficker is being controlled somewhere in the Ukraine. Of course, he can't prove that right now. Now, he goes on to say that the unknown, operative word here, unknown threat posed by Conficker, and that hit about 10 million computers prior to April the 1st. These are Windows-based machines. Goes on to say that, you know, they did a coordinated response. They've got Kaspersky, Microsoft, Symantec, ICANN, the FBI. All these agencies were involved in trying to head off Conficker at the pass. So what Conficker does is it basically attacks the domain name service layer as opposed to the application layer. And so you know, it's using an algorithm in generating predetermined URLs, and if they're live, Conficker will try to go to one of those URLs and boom, get its new marching orders, if you will. And because they were able to crack that algorithm, you know, these were blocked. But Conficker's not done by a long shot. Now, this goes on to say, as I said earlier, that Conficker was targeting the Internet's domain name service layer, which is the equivalent of the Internet address book, if you will. Now, the application layer has typically been used as the attack vector, but now we see DNS resolution used as the command and control center. Here's where this gets really interesting. Botnet operators in Russia, however, have started to work and cooperate with each other. So this is according to some security specialists that are Russian. And so that being said, the different botnets work in cooperation. So one will say, you know, I'm just a bot herder. That's all I'm going to do. I don't care about money laundering. Another bot says, I just do fraud. We just do our own thing. Another one says, you know, I'm doing spam. You know, I'm sending out advertising and all that sort of thing. And maybe another one says, look, I'm doing money laundering. It's really almost like going to be like a manufacturing business. So, you know, this is where this thing really gets weird. These guys are starting to work together, and they've already got some very intelligent people behind it. So the worm, you know, used an algorithm that generated a list of domains, and every day it produced a new list, right? So it looked for the URLs, and then if they were in line, the worm was designed to download upgrades from that URL. So the group was able to exploit, now the group being this Semantic, Kaspersky, and all these guys. So they were, as I said, they were able to exploit the algorithm and determine, just what URLs that Conficker was going to go after. And they blocked those URLs, and that kind of kept things at bay with Conficker. It goes on to say, and this is kind of interesting, that evidence of a recent 9-hour attack on CheckFree, which is an online bill payment site, and it's used by about 22 different U.S. different companies. That resulted in a 2-day shutdown because of its online servers through DNS resolution were affected, and when people would go to CheckFree, they were being sent to a site that then deposited and downloaded malware on the computers. So they're using DNS to get you redirected to a bad site, and boom, depositing this stuff on your computers. So you need to be aware of what some of this is going on. Now we know that the botnet operators are colluding together. They've got some top-notch people there, and now they're playing with some of the very basic plumbing of the internet, and that's that's some of the things that's going on. And it finally ends with Kaspersky saying that this is a major example of the internet weapon. Actually, the internet being weaponized because the bad guys can use a botnet of this size, not just for commercial interests, but other interests also. Now, Kaspersky makes it clear that he does not admire these guys, yet there is an undeniable sense of respect that he conveys. These are just not, little 16-year-old hackers out there. This is becoming a big business, a global operation. They're going to start working together. This is what makes securing your network even more imperative. Even if you've got a small business and a tight budget, if you're going to have data on there that you need and you want to keep that network secure, you can't ignore your security. And this goes to show you that some of the finest minds in the virus fields and computer science are saying we've got some really nasty stuff headed our way. These people are not rank amateurs. Maybe I'm being an alarmist. I don't think so. I think we're going to see more and more of this sort of thing. And that even if you've got a small business, small network, even a home network, it doesn't hurt to learn a little bit about security risks and things like implementing a firewall and teaching your users how to avoid, suspicious-looking email, securing your email, these sort of things. Some of this can be done absolutely free of charge and greatly enhance your security. But it's going to get worse as these guys continue to get better and better. Hey, I'm Bruce Naylor, your FrugalTech. Like to always enjoy your feedback, your comments. Make sure to visit us at www.frugalbrothers.com. And remember, if it's in your shop, not making any money or saving any money, get it out there. I'll talk to you later.